Good evening, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about the models of implementation. But before that, let us first read our lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify the models of implementation, compare the different models of implementation, and demonstrate practical application of the curriculum implementation models. Now that we already know our lesson objective, let us go directly to our discussion. Now, what is curriculum implementation? This refers to how teachers deliver instruction and assessment through the use of specified resources provided in the curriculum. So it is a process wherein the learners acquire the planned or intended knowledge and skills and attitude. So in the classroom context, it means teaching what has been written inside the lesson plan. While in a larger scale, it means putting the curriculum into operation with the different implementing agents. Now, according to Ornstein and Hunkins 1998, it is the interaction between the curriculum that has been written and planned and the persons or the teachers who are engaged in charge to deliver it. Now, what is the purpose of models of implementation? When we say models, it is a system or a thing that used as an example to follow or imitate. Now, the purpose of this is to guide and support the systematic translation of research evidence-based practices into real-world settings. Now, the first model is the fidelity model. When we say fidelity, this refers to the quality of being faithful or loyal to the accuracy or exactness of a reproduction or recording. Now, this approach envisions curriculum implementation as a faithful delivery of what has been designed by experts. Teachers are expected to enact the curriculum exactly as prescribed, with minimal deviation. Its key idea is to implement the curriculum designed emphasizing consistency and adherence. Now, example in the Philippine context. In K-12 senior high school, teachers may follow the Department of Education's most essential learning competencies, or the MELCs as is, maintaining standardized instruction across schools. But other than that, it is too rigid. Teachers have little room to innovate or adjust. This doesn't fit all learners, may ignore cultural, local, or individual differences, so dili na makater ang diverse needs of the learners. Now next is the mutual adaptation model. When we say mutual, it is done by each of two or more parties toward the other, or others. Now in this model, the curriculum isn't rigid. Instead, it allows two-way adjustment. Teachers adapt the curriculum to fit classroom realities and developers may revise material based on feedback from others. Its key idea is to adapt collaboratively. Teachers and designers jointly shape how the curriculum is used. Now, example in the Philippine context, in the Alternative Learning System or the ALS, teachers adjust modules to contextualize lesson. For example, using real-life scenarios like market budgeting to teach the numeracy. But it also has a downside, which is the inconsistency. Quality may vary between schools, teachers, leading to uneven outcomes. Possible misinterpretation. Teachers may adjust too much and miss core objectives. Needs teachers with strong training and resourcefulness. Not all are prepared for this one. Now next is the enactment model. When we say enactment, it is a process of acting something out. Curriculum implementation involves active, creative interpretation by teachers and even students. The curriculum becomes a framework that teachers jointly shape in the classroom. Its key idea is bring the curriculum to life. Teachers and learners co-construct the educational experience. Now example in the Philippine context, in special education or the SPED, teacher designed tactile materials or visual aids tailored to individual learners, effectively co-creating the curriculum in practice. But also, this is highly dependent on the teacher's competence. So this is weak if the teacher lacks the expertise. Next is the collaborative participatory approach model. So this model emphasizes that successful curriculum implementation involves all stakeholders, teachers, parents, community leaders, and students collaboratively contribute to how the curriculum is enacted. While less commonly categorized in the same framework, it aligns with the participatory approaches and is echoed in Philippine-centered educational research. Its key idea is to enact the curriculum together. The community co-owns the curriculum. So example in the Philippine context, in Indigenous Peoples Education or the IPED, teachers work closely with elders and cultural leaders to weave indigenous knowledge, systems, and practices or IKSP into K-12 lessons. But also, this takes a lot of time to coordinate with the community, stakeholders, and learners. Conflicting opinions, difficult to balance all voices, teachers, parents, and community. This requires strong leadership, otherwise the process can't get chaotic. Not all practical in large classes or resource-poor schools. Now, the models of implementation, fidelity, mutual adaptation, enactment, and collaborative participatory provide educators with different lenses to approach this process. Each model highlights a unique purpose, whether ensuring consistency, fidelity, allowing flexible adjustments, mutual, fostering creative interpretation, enactment, or engaging collective ownership, the collaborative participatory. Therefore, understanding these models empower teachers and stakeholders to make informed choices in delivering education that is both effective and meaningful. So that's all for tonight. See you in the next discussion.